It doesn't matter what your level is, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, pro, it doesn't matter. Here are 5 things you should never do in Blender. Let's go. Let's get on with our video. So 5 things you should never do in Blender, and I mean that. It doesn't matter what your level, don't fucking do it. Number 1, obsess about topology. Obsessing about topology is a very common issue, especially for, for new people, right? For newcomers, because they just don't know. Don't obsess about topology day 1 because it's gonna hamper your progress. The reason why our courses for beginners are Boolean and N-gon based workflows is because they're super intuitive, very easy and fast to get into, right? So, as an artist, you want to minimize the technical side of learning Blender or any hard surface application out there, and you want to get into it and start modeling. So now, for example, sub-D and so-called clean topology is going to create additional headache, and you may actually give up. There's a lot of people giving up because it's just a bit too technical. So don't obsess about topology. It's a tool, right? There's a place for, N-gon topology. There's a place for quad topology. There's a place for mixed topology. It depends on what you do, okay? So first, get into Blender. Start modeling, start feeling the flow, right? See what you like. Find your niche. And once you do that, right, and once you know this and that, then you can start worrying about technicalities. Do you know what I mean? Trust me, that's the fastest way to learn and most effective one, okay? So don't listen to morons who are fucking, from the 1980s and give you some bullshit advice. Just trust me, don't obsess about topology day 1, okay? And in addition to this, if you, for example, a concept artist, you don't give a fuck about topology anyway, because why would you? It's going to be retopologized by other people. If you don't believe me, listen to these 2 guys. I mean, they literally said that. They outsource everything.
But yeah, we leave that up to our outsource partners as they have pretty big teams that can work simultaneously on one machine. So sometimes up to 30 people work on one machine cleaning during the cleaning process. So yeah, and we don't have that amount of people that we can put on it, and don't have the resources to actually clean them also.
And even if you're going to be working in a smaller studio, maybe you're going to have to do some, let's say, retopologizing, whatever. It's a tool. You can learn it in, I don't know, a few weeks, okay? No problem. So don't stress about topology when you don't fucking need it. Second thing, and that's really important, do not work without add-ons. If you are working in Blender without add-ons, I don't care if they're paid or free, you're a fucking idiot, okay? Because time is the most important commodity. If you are using add-ons, you are using tools that save you time and make things easier. So don't listen to the fucking purists that say vanilla this, vanilla that. I know you can do shit in vanilla. Not all of it, but most of it. But, it's just like walking from Paris to Berlin on foot. I mean, why the fuck would you do it in 2024? You jump on the fucking train, at least, if not a plane, right? Common sense. So the same with add-ons. Just use fucking add-ons. If you can afford them, buy them, because they will buy you back your time, and, that's priceless commodity again. And if you want to be a professional and work in a professional competitive environment, you need to be as efficient and as quick as possible, preferably quicker than other people in your competition. So add-ons gonna get you there, right? Once you know how the tools work in Blender, then jump into add-ons, okay? And I'm gonna give you just one example. You can sit the fuck down, turn on your stopwatch and see how much time you're gonna save with just one simple feature of hard ops and box cutter. So there is a boolean that's basically kind of hidden in Blender. It's called inset boolean, and I'm gonna show you how to do this first in vanilla Blender. Buddha bless my fucking soul, but let's do it. So I'm gonna create a cube, Shift D that, and I'm gonna move this in here, and so Shift D this cube. It's already getting confusing. We're gonna use hard ops now to wire this, so shade it as wire, so it's gonna be a little bit easy to understand. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this cube here, and I'm going to add a solidify modifier. So to go to generate and solidify, then I'm going to go to generate and boolean. So here, and I'm going to select this cutter as a boolean, and I'm going to change this to intersect. Then I'm going to hide this cube, and I'm going to solidify this. Okay, let's unhide that. Then I'm going to select the other cube, and I'm going to add boolean modifier. Then use this Boolean modifier on the second cube, right, as a difference, and then I'm gonna hide this cube here, okay? And that gives you inset Boolean, right? Did you check the time, how long it took? Okay, so now watch this. That's how you do it with box cutter, right? You had a cube, right? You cut it, you press X few times, you press T, and you're done. Get fucking add-ons. Now, third thing that's really important, never apply a structural bevel. Let me explain. So let's say I have a cube here and, you know, I'm gonna run a bevel. I'm gonna be using hard ups and box cutter because Vanilla Blender gives me fucking EBGBs, okay? So I'm gonna run a cut in here and run weighted normals, right? This would take about half an hour with Vanilla Blender. So now I'm gonna run a mirror as well, whatever, right? And I do have a bevel running on this mesh. If I'm gonna go to settings and, you know, wireframe, you can see clearly I have a bevel here. Do not apply this bevel, because when you do that, you're gonna be in a world of pain, right? This is a structural bevel that kind of creates highlights on edges, okay? And you don't want to do that. If you want to create, for example, like a wider bevel, you know, let's say something like this, that is fine. You can bake it into the mesh and basically work destructively, but this bevel that runs on these tiny edges, never fucking apply it, okay? So if I, you know, try to apply this, let's say I went to Control A and Visual Geometry to Mesh, and I'm gonna remove the wireframe, do you see what happens, right? So for example, now, if I wanted to cut this mesh with a Boolean, I'm gonna have a problem because now I'm gonna have secondary bevel running on my mesh. You're gonna be in a world of pain. And you know, you can remove this with stuff like Mesh Machine, but it's just a pain, okay? So don't apply structural bevels to your mesh, really important. And as an additional tip I can give you, get a power save add-on, which is free, and create as many incremental saves as possible. If you want to see how paranoid I'm with saves, here's a folder that shows you all the incremental saves I created when I was recording a Mac course, which was in 2021. It's quite a list, right? So use PowerSave to create incremental saves and also to, you know, save your work automatically every, you know, I don't know, 60 seconds, 120 seconds, whatever, so you never lose your work. And even if anything happens like this, you can always copy paste mesh from another blender because I hope you do know it by now, you can use multiple blenders at the same time. So you can Control C, Control V from another, you know, Blender version, the object that got fucked, okay? Number 4, you should never neglect your renders. I know the modeling is exciting and you wanna get this model out there, you know, on social media or, you know, whatever, as soon as possible. Don't neglect rendering. Render properly. And if you don't know how to do it, we have a course for that called the Rendering University. It's fantastic. It's several hours long and it will teach you everything you need to know about composition, framing, lighting, you know, just simply getting really good at that stuff. And trust me, if you ask any professional who works in the industry, they will tell you the same thing. Portfolio is the most important thing that you can create because it's your fucking business card and that's how you're gonna get hired. And based on quality of your portfolio, you know, you can negotiate your salary, okay, or, you know, hourly wage, whatever, because they will clearly see your level. In addition, through renders, you can show that you like to bring projects till the end. So you kind of sell this idea of a full package. You know, you're not someone that's going to do, you know, it's going to half-ass the job and just simply deliver something. No, you're a person who starts and fucking finishes. Do you know what I mean? It sends a message, it's psychological. So portfolio is important on so many levels. And in order to do that, you need to learn rendering. Rendering also, in addition to all that, will teach you better design because rendering and composition, framing, lighting, all these are based on the same principles as modeling, detailing, and so on, okay? This is all interconnected, right? So don't neglect rendering. And the last thing is really important too. Blender is a tool that allows you to do a lot of things, you know, animation, sculpting, fucking video editing, okay? Grocery shopping, do you know what I mean? Like, you can do anything. Don't. You can try different things, right? But once you find that thing you really like, focus, niche the fuck down. Because if you don't, you're gonna get eaten alive by the competition. If you want to be good at everything, you're gonna be good at fuck all, okay? So do not try to be good at everything. You can try different things to see what you like. Again, once you find it, focus, okay? So again, to sum it up, do not obsess about topology. Remember, topology is just a tool. You can learn it, but don't obsess about it. Not everything has to be in quads, okay? Some things don't have to be in quads. In fact, a lot of things don't have to be in quads. So don't waste your fucking time on doing something that's unimportant, right? 2, do not work without add-ons. I'm gonna fucking slap you or call your mom. Do you know what I mean? 3, don't apply bevels because reasons, right? Do not neglect your renders. That's really important. Just learn how to render properly and do it for all the models that you think you're gonna put on your portfolio, okay? Even when you're putting something on social media and you don't want to put it on a portfolio, put some effort into it, because remember, that's your signature, right? And lastly, again, don't try to become good at everything. Find it one thing that you really like and focus, right, on one thing. Okay, well, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next one.